Awesome. All right. Welcome everybody to the Indy Contributors Working Group call for July 29th, 2025. Today on our agenda, we have the Indy Quarterly Report. I've got a draft for it and would love to get feedback, anything I'm missing, anything I've got wrong. And then talking about the upgrade and then the GitHub organization really just on there so it stays on the radar. And yeah, would love to hear how things are going on the Indy Besu side, any updates there, as well as did Web V8 stuff. We are recording this meeting and we'll post it on the meeting page later today. We are following the Linux Foundation antitrust policy and the LFDT code of conduct. Quick announcement that the Indicio testnet will be reset on basically 1 week from 4 minutes ago. And let's see, are there any announcements or anything to share before we jump into our agenda?
Stephen, and we indicated that mainnet is now got a sovereign mainnet now has
Oh, true.
What's the word that I'm looking for?
Caretaker.
Yes.
So
my brain is just not working today.
Trinsic,
yes.
Riley has
Trinsic. Riley has generously taken on the caretaker role for sovereign mainnet, so that will continue to live in perpetuity as long as we can keep that running. I do have the contract with Trinsic to deal with the technical side of things, so everything right now is running in DigitalOcean. So we have the 4 mainnet nodes along with IndyScan still functioning, and all of that's being monitored 24/7 for health, and has been happily running since it landed there. So several months ago. So that's a little bit of history there that we're keeping alive. So it's good to report that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And just to make sure I remember correctly, the testnet and staging or buildernet, those are completely gone, and the mainnet exists in a read-only that has found its home in being maintained by Trinsic.
Yeah,
cool.
Correct.
Okay, nice. So that means that credentials that were issued using mainnet at that time can still be used.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Can I ask a few questions? I think I'm out of background here. So that means that sovereign mainnet is still exists?
Yes, it still exists in a read-only format. All of the endorsers and the ability to write to the network have been cut off, but everything still exists. So you can still query it. You can still prove any of the verifiable credentials that were issued and haven't been revoked, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you. That's great news. I will be polite and I will not ask why. But okay, does it mean that Trinsic is going to manage this mainnet and now it will be some kind of Trinsic mainnet?
No, they're just Riley took it on sort of as a historical artifact. So it's basically sort of I guess you could call it the origins of self-sovereign identity type idea. It's kind of being kept alive as a historical artifact. They're not planning on doing anything with it. They're just planning on just keeping it running for as long as humanly possible.
Okay. Do we know, I mean, surface range question, but do we know why Trinsic is decided to manage this data, I mean, store this data and provide it? Because I didn't know that Trinsic uses Indy Ledger too much.
No, they don't use it at all. I think that really comes down to the fact that that Riley started at Sovereign, and then spun off Trinsic from there. So it's, you know, I think it's just to him, it holds some history for him. So
Okay, thank you for answers. Anyway, thanks Trinsic for this. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting. Thanks for that context. Okay, cool. Any other announcements? All right, let's see. On the Indy quarterly report, I got an extension for it, so now it's due on this Thursday, and it's Q3, since even though we're looking back at Q2, we call it the Q3 report. So yeah, just the project health, just talking about how the upgrade is still the main thing that's being worked on. The project is still highly stable and is being used in production all over the world. Are there any questions or issues that we would like to bring before the TAC from the perspective of Indy?
I mean, maybe the only thing that we can bring forward is, you know, continuing to look at maintainers from the, you know, the organizations that are actually still using it. I know there's more organizations out there using it than what we have.
Yeah.
Do we also, I guess, what is the overall recommendation moving forward? So we've got Indy Bezu. Do we have a clear migration path for folks that want to move over there? Did WebVH any concepts there? I don't know. I'm just kind of brainstorming.
Yeah, yeah.
So with Indy Bezu, we have a strong migration plan and demo scripts and descriptions, design how to make a migration. But here I want to emphasize that Indy Bezu right now in the state of good MVP with really good quality of code, but still we don't have any final releases here.
So it's really sort of in the
yes, at the same time,
final beta stages. It's not.
Yes, we just, I mean, it's possible to continue and finalize this work. Like, so I think mostly making a good key work for this, but we just a bit paused with finalizing this like release because we wanted to understand what community wants for this, and actually I will have some news about this.
Cool. Yeah, that's helpful to hear. Yeah, I guess, yeah, on this first point that you mentioned, Wade, yeah, I think that is a good idea to, I mean, I guess this is what we've done at previous Indy summits too, is get everybody together that depends on this and say, what would you do if this didn't exist? What can we do to make sure it continues to exist? Because it is just something that works and is kind of taken for granted.
Yeah, and I think the focus on that should probably be, you know, just making sure that, you know, we're okay for the next X number of years or whatever, you know, getting this upgrade done, so that we, you know, we've got something that we can get on a sort of a more supported platform. And then don't know how much we want, you know, is going to happen after that. I don't know what everybody's plans are. So
yeah. So you're saying we should frame it more as, how do we keep this usable until we can move to other things.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but it seems to me like, you know, that there's you know, people are using it, but I don't know whether or not it's on the long term, you know, the long term radar for everybody. You know, I don't know. I don't have that insight into
Yeah.
how everybody's using it and how long they're planning on using it for, and what their long term goals are going to be for this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I can
I mean,
share.
mhm.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, I can share the status that I know right now, just from my personal opinion. So I still feel that Candy Ledger, uh, I like this name, is the biggest one in the world
Mhm.
and the most important. But at the same time, I want to ask you about next plans for this ledger, because I see that you're also interested in working with DitWebPage. And I'm curious if we will see Candy Ledger in, for example, 5 or 10 years. Looks like maybe not, or still there are a lot of systems that are dependent on this ledger.
Yeah, personally, I don't know if I have enough insight to be able to speak to
Maybe
that
Steven
point. So,
can share something, maybe.
do you have any insight, Stephen?
No.
Oh, okay, then just let's see, because right now I think it is one of the biggest and maybe the biggest ledger. I mean, not because of size, because of people who use this.
Yeah,
So it.
I know we're actively working on the ledger. So we are migrating from, like, BC will be migrating from AWS to Azure for our nodes to put it on a more supported platform. For us, Ontario and Quebec are still, you know, active members there. We have other provinces that are, you know, onboarding on the ledger, various things like that. So I
Wow.
mean, things are active, but I don't know. I can't speak to the long-term plan. I don't know what that is. And I know that we, you know, we want to get the upgrade done. So once we get to that item, I've got a bunch of questions.
Okay, thank you. Actually, that sounds cool still. Speaking about other ledgers, we know that we still have a ledger from ID Union, and I think it can be important because it is some kind of government ledger. And we know that different companies have this not maybe in production, but some kind of production, some kind of important projects that are dependent on this. And also we know about a set of personal networks. I think I can say about Bosch, but we understand that they don't use this in production. It is for their R&D projects. They usually, I mean, it's not a secret that they have this, but it's for personal usage. That's why it is interesting, like in the ledger uses, but it's not public for making some statistic. And another point, so we can put here like private networks that are not in public at all. And another point, I think, so it is my good news for today, that maybe you remember that in Brazil they thought they already use Bezo for government system and for central bank, and they made another step to this direction. So we are pretty close to merge, sort of as a news here for merge vacation, and they say that they are pretty close to use this in production. So it means that I understand it's Indy on Bezo, not like clean Indy code, but at the same time, from the project perspective, it is, I think, will be a fresh network, fresh use of Indy project. Let's see, of course, but right now we are discussing their status and it looks really good.
Just to make sure I understand, so the company in Brazil has been working on the revocation feature. They are moving towards production?
Yeah, they said, I have a meeting with them in a few weeks, and I need to double check everything. But here is the link where they mentioned it. So directly they said that they made integration with Akapai and so on, and certification, and this use case will be the first use of identity for the Brazil governments on the Gov platform. And they believe that it will be soon in production.
Okay. So it's
So in general,
not
maybe it is in the same state that it was a half of a year ago, but it looks much more positive.
yeah. Cool. That's great to hear.
So the pull request, sorry for sharing the status. I think it's not the topic of quarterly report. So just sharing status for that pull request, it's almost done. We approved the approach and code. There are just some issues with pipelines, but actually from DSR we are ready to help with them just for merging this pull request because it is really important.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Good to hear. Let's see. Other than that, this is no new releases. Let's see. Curious if anybody has suggestions on how to talk about this. Just of course the primary focus has still been the upgrade to Ubuntu 22.0. New contributors working on the upgrade were abruptly pulled from the project. Momentum has slowed compared with the previous quarter. It had appeared that they would be able to return to the project, but there have not been any updates on a potential return. Does that sound fair? Are there
It does sound fair. I'm hoping to get some additional time to work on this, but I need to figure out where we are currently at. So we can, I don't think that's part of the quarterly report, but I mean, there will be some additional time available from BC to get this done.
Yeah, and just from the NDCO side, we are also having internal discussions about what we want to do to be able to contribute and move this forward. And so yeah, can't speak to any specific commitments at this point, but yeah, this is definitely something we care about a lot and are invested in. So I guess I'll make a note about that as well. Let's see. Okay, and then I think I'll keep this on here just as kind of an overview of what is coming, and then just that we will do the GitHub organization change at an advantageous time when there's a bunch of other changes happening with after the obsolete dependencies have been removed. And then just again calling out that it is very stable, just trying to do maintenance, and there hasn't really been a need for new features, and it's it just works and is there. Yeah, I think these are all pretty much the same as well. Increasing the OpenSSF scorecard rating, we'll have to see how things shake out in this half of the year with getting through the review or the upgrade, and then the organization change, and then seeing what can be tackled on here.
Mhm.
So let's see. I don't think there have been any changes in the maintainers. Is anybody aware of any changes
No,
there?
I don't think there's any changes.
Let's see. And then looking at the LFX insights, there's, I guess this is from the past full year. But overall, it's got a score of healthy, which is good. 12 active contributors over the last quarter. And then this isn't too surprising about organizational dependency. But yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that linked here. And then is there any additional information that we should share? Previously in this section, we had the use case in South Africa for the Uber rival that was using Indy. Does anybody know of new production use cases of Indy that we could call out?
I'm not aware.
Cool.
So I wanted to ask about Bhutan. I know that they changed the agency system, of course, and they use credit right now. But do you know if they use uncreds or they use DigitalVT or something like this? I mean, ARES or OpenID for VC. Because previously, I'm absolutely sure that they used uncreds, and it means that they used Indy sovereign. Actually, I don't know. And maybe it means that right now they still use some kind of Indy projects for the DID. But I don't know. I can double check it. I mean, check it right now.
Yeah, I'm
theory.
not sure I know.
Wonder if Drummond would know. Probably not. Actually, he might. He keeps in touch, I think, with Jacques, I think, who was the lead of that project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bhutan was in DCO mainnet, but they, like you said, they switched, and I don't know if they kept using a non-creds or not. So yeah, unknown on the non-creds part.
If we can finalize this reports a bit late, I mean, during a few days, I think we can double check this and mention this. And my suggestion here, so my personal feeling, that here we mentioned that we started to have slower contribution work and so on, slower project. But in general, if it is like a finalized solution that is very stable, as we saw for sovereign network, so we can just mention that it is stable for public networks that we know, and for example, continue mentioning some use cases where people use this. I
In
understand that it
the
is not
additional.
yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I understand that it's not some kind of like our achievements. It is just like works. But maybe it makes sense to mention this, that project is still alive and still works.
Yeah.
Also in some kind of product.
Yeah, that would be great. Let's
Because
see. And
I like indie beta projects, really like an author. But I understand that right now people don't use it, and we try to change this. But for indie, people really use this. Maybe not a lot. We want to have more participants, more bigger contribution work. But in general, it works. It works for a lot of cases, and maybe we can emphasize this in some reports to show that it's not a dead project. We're still here.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, maybe I think that's a great idea that just continuing to emphasize that it's stable and is being used. I guess we can call out like BCGov, and Indicio, and yeah, the Candy Network, ID Union. Let's see, I know we've got that LFDT use cases tracker. Also I'll share this. I will figure this out after. But let's see. What else should we call it in particular in terms of the use cases? Let's see. Also, Renata, I was thinking maybe in the overall activity in the past quarter, we could mention the Indy Bezu stuff that you were talking about. I just jotted down notes here, but yeah, I want to make sure I'm not messing it up or not putting in the right words. Is there any chance you'd be willing to just put that in a quick paragraph that we could submit with the report?
Actually, this description is perfect. Thank you a lot.
Okay, this is good. Okay. I will leave it with this then. I will just put it into a paragraph after the call. But yeah, let's see. Cool. This was a really helpful discussion. Are there other things that we should be sure to have in the report? I can finish polishing it and then post it in our Discord channel before submitting it, hopefully tomorrow. Cool. Let's see. Let's see. Other than that, on the upgrade itself, I know we've already been sort of talking about how that's going and the overall priorities. It doesn't sound like there are technical updates on this.
I've been since I've been out for a few weeks and missed a few calls. Stephen did indicate to me a number of weeks ago that there was a bunch of work that was done on the Indicio side that they've gotten things working as far as most of the tests and various things are going. I don't think any of that work is currently linked to a PR in the Indy repository. I'm wondering if it might be an idea to either open a new PR or add that to an existing PR or whatever makes the most sense there, and we can then start doing continuing with the review and
Yeah.
I think that would sort of get us from BC and Sylvain from Quebec more engaged in sort of where things are at, so that we can get ourselves up to speed and start helping again.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, Kim has been doing some great work. So yeah, I will chat with him about seeing what we can do in terms of review and PR and that sort of thing.
Perfect.
To move that forward. So cool.
Kim's on the call.
Hey, Kim.
Oh, sorry. I didn't have the right view, I guess.
Greetings.
Didn't mean to ignore you there, Kim. Yeah, did you have anything you wanted to share on that?
I've been a little distracted at the moment from making further progress, but I got all the tests passing, except the what I previously discussed with there's an additional set of tests that gets run in production that broke on Ubuntu 22.04.
Okay.
And
that's part of the Indy test automation suite, is it?
yes,
Okay.
I think so. I tried upgrading to the latest one and that broke everything.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's where that was last at, and that was for Indy Node. I think Indy Plenum was past everything, so I think it just got stuck on that for Indy Node.
So yeah, if somebody can, if you want to point us at the code in, like, just post that in the Discord channel, and even better if you could like submit a PR, then we can start having a look at it and see if there's any insight that I can provide on why there might be an issue there.
So as far as PR goes, have we been moving other fixes into the Indy Node and Indy Plenum for version upgrades? What I did is I reverted back to a version before we started trying to update dependencies.
Okay, that's fine. If we want to open up a new PR and go in this, in this new direction, that's totally fine with me. I don't expect us to continue on with some of the PRs that are going there if we've made more progress, than they've made.
No, I think the work that this is not to discount the work that's been done elsewhere on updating dependencies, because that work needs to happen.
Okay.
Because what I'm doing is just pulling in all the old dependencies the best I can as is. But for projects health, I think we still want to upgrade those dependencies.
Okay.
So I don't think we should throw away any of that work at all. I think it's a necessary part of the upgrade process, but I wanted to make sure that we moved forward at least on the OS side. Then we can pull in those other dependencies.
Okay,
so likely
it sounds to me like this might be like what you've done so far is it might be a new starting point for updating those dependencies.
Yeah, we likely what we would do is we would make those dependencies a pull request into a new branch here.
Okay, that sounds good.
So I think we need to create a new branch
for
these to exist in.
Okay.
I will what I'll do is I'll make some recommendations and send them your way.
Perfect.
On what commits need to get pulled over. So I will make that a to-do item.
Awesome.
Package.
And then I can get updated on where we are with that, and hopefully we can
commits and recommendations. Okay, I will make some time for that so that we can keep moving forward on this.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. That is great to hear. Anything else that we should talk about in this call?
I'm not sure if you said it earlier, but I'll mention that for anyone maybe listening to the recording or anyone here that uses it, the Indicio testnet is being reset next Tuesday. All the old transactions will be gone, and we'll start fresh again like we do on an annual basis. Any questions about that?
Yeah, are the old transactions going to be available for viewing anywhere?
Yeah, what I've done in the past is I've done some monkey business with Indy Scan to make it so that there's an old test net still available for people to go and look at and view those old transactions. I keep the whole old database stuff in there. It's kind of it's a weird thing to do, but it seems to work. So yeah, we'll still have the old testnet transactions available for at least the next year.
Cool. All right, sounds good. I will finalize this and post it in the channel in case anybody has any other things to add or modify. And then I'll plan to submit it tomorrow afternoon. So, all right, with that, thanks everybody for taking the time to meet.
Excellent. Thanks.
Take care, all. See ya.
Thank you. Talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Bye.